Where are you right now, buddy?
I am in my living room here in San Pedro, and I'm just doing all my morning work and just kind of chilling out, having my coffee, getting ready to planning the day.
Happy and well?
Happy and well, man. Kidding, life is good.
That's beautiful, mate. That's the point, right? That's the
point.
point.
Life is good. I can't complain. You know, there's always the ups and downs, but
the life of an entrepreneur, mate.
Yeah, man. Jesus Christ.
If we knew, would we do it?
I you know what though? I think so.
Yeah.
Because to me, the headache of what we go through is way easier than sitting behind a desk and having an assembly line of people tell you the way you have to be and the way you have to live.
God, man. Do you know what? I couldn't agree more. I had a job 8 years ago for 1.5 days.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, man. I went in and someone told me what to do, so I left. That was it. And maybe it was longer than that now. It was probably like 10 years ago. But yeah, I couldn't handle someone telling me what to do. So fuck it, right?
Yeah, I can't do it because here's the thing. Most people are in the regular job systems.
Yep.
You know, they take their stress off of what's being delivered at them onto you, and then it's a trickle down effect, and it's like that nothing productive handles that way, and there's no leadership.
True.
It's only do as I say because I'm your boss.
Yeah. Otherwise, you lose your job. And make sure you've got a mortgage. Make sure you've got a mortgage for 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and it's a tough game, but you know, I mean, entrepreneurship is tough too.
But what are you gonna do, right? We're gonna go and roll the dice down our world. It's
hey, at least it's our choice, you know.
That's it, man. That's it. And I love. We're just starting talking, mate. We're just recording talk. So again, yeah, done. It's already begun, mate. It's already begun. And what I love to watch you from the outside, dude, because I haven't seen you in so long, and I've just watched you just decide to be you. And you know what I mean? And as soon as you did that, world championships come, the gym come, fucking everything that you wanted in your heart just came. And I just watched you grow and grow and grow. And this is me from the outside looking and going, fucking A, that's so awesome. Made me like all the time, honestly, bud, hand on heart, it makes me so fucking happy. Like, I've just watched this gym grow. I've watched you grow. I've watched you win and win and win and then get all this publicity and notoriety. And you deserve it all. You know what I mean?
Man. I appreciate it. You know, I've worked my ass off. And, you know, like, but the thing is that one of the biggest things that I think I'm always preaching is that I've been guilty of it for a long time. And you know this more than anybody else because we worked on a lot of the mind stuff back in the day. And once you decide to become who you want to be, to become a champion, I tell people that becoming a champion is a choice. And once you truly decide, everything in your life changes because you're either going to decide to become a champion with whatever you do, right, or you choose to become a loser with a mindset of that. And I don't mean a loser as like, oh my God, you suck. Is that I see losing as a mentality. Because if you go into something and you don't give it your efforts, or if you don't commit 100%, then you already lost. You're not even giving yourself that chance. And so for me, when I just decided to say, fuck it, I'm not running anymore. I'm not making excuses. I'm going to decide to be a champion. Right. Things started changing.
And you did. And then it's like, it's let's rewind the clock because we jumped in and I love to just jump sometimes, man. I love it because we just start talking. It's the best fucking way, mate.
Well, it's been a long time, so.
It has, man. And I'm coming to LA, mate. We've got to hang out. And, you know, man. It's just, I want to come. And hey, my knee's destroyed, but hey, I can still come and play, right? I can still come and hit some pads, mate. That was my. I don't know if you knew about that. That was happened with Marcus. with Dom's gym, like, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I went to train just jiu-jitsu. Someone at the end of the session, we were training gi, they fucked up badly. I tapped them out a few times. They jumped to pull guard. Big guy, messed it up badly, snapped my leg in half.
I vaguely remember you telling me about that.
Dude, I had to have a post-lateral corner reconstruction. I'd torn off the bone, MCL, ACL, PCL, everything destroyed.
Wow.
And I was on crutches for a year. And then it was so bad, man, I didn't want to get an ACL fitted. So I went 10 years without an ACL. I've just gone and got my ACL last year.
Oh my God.
I know, man. And it's like, you know, and this is, I'm moving this back to you, because it's like, for me, martial arts has always been like my way of being an artist. Now, was it at your level? I was like, fuck at your level. But I could play, you know, I could do, it was all right. But it was like an artist. That got taken away from me. So I lost that expression, you know? And I feel that when people don't understand martial arts and they look from the outside, they see violence. Yet when you're inside, there's no violence. It's pure execution of growth and technique. And the reason I say this is, do you still feel that way as you are an artist? Because you literally are an artist too, which you're fucking brilliant at art, but do you still consider yourself an artist, a martial artist?
For sure. One of the things, Yahoo Sports did a story on me years ago that stuck with me forever. And it was pretty brilliant the way they worded the phrasing of it. They said that leaving one art form and changing it to another, does it seem like the only thing that's changed is the canvas?
I like that, right?
Right. And that always stuck with me, because I was like, yeah, that's all it is. I'm still creating. I still get to express. I still get to be me, except now I'm not drawing on a canvas. I'm performing on top of a canvas. And I mean, when you're out there, you're really doing that. When you're expressing what's inside you, when you're fighting, you're in the moment. Like when I'm drawing, I'm in the moment. I'm letting whatever my emotions are coming out when I'm drawing. But when I'm fighting and when I'm training, I'm allowing myself to really discover more about myself and really be free.
So are you still growing?
I'm growing every day. Every single day is a different version of myself than I was the day before now. I'm so obsessed with forward momentum that every single day I wake up, I plan my days, because I need to make the most of every moment of every single chapter that I can get into.
Otherwise it's a waste, right?
It is for me. Like I feel like I wasted so many years of my life and just running because I didn't want to face myself. And now it's all about, I want to do the exact opposite. You know, I wake up and I want to face the challenges that are in front of me, even though they might be terrifying. They might be I don't know the answers, but that's what makes it exciting. Because like perfect example, like I have all my notebooks, right? And I have these highlighters. It's amazing because I love these highlighters, because as soon as I get to cross off something that's in my book, that means I faced the challenge and beat it.
I love it, man. I love it. So let's rewind all this. Let's rewind it a long way. Let's rewind it to when you were a kid.
Let's not do that.
We don't have to do that, dude. But
no, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Fuck yeah, we don't want to go back to my childhood either, dude. But we won't stay there long. The why, dude. You know, I know that the why this path, because most people would have been an accountant, right? Most people would have been a doctor. Well, fucking whatever that means, right? Most people, whatever. You went down this path, but why? And I know a little bit about the story, but I want to share it with the audience, you know?
Well, I think going back to my childhood, I was always unsure of who I was and where I stood. And I didn't have any confidence in myself. And I was always trying to make other people like me by trying to be the person that I thought they wanted me to be instead of the person that I wanted to be.
Okay.
And I think that through my growing up and my years of getting bullied and my years of just constantly coming up short because of my own self-sabotage, that at some point through fighting, I just decided to say, fuck it. I'm sick of running for myself, because all of us have that gut feeling inside and we know what's up. Like when it's just you and there's nobody around, there's no TV on, there's that feeling that doesn't even have words to it,
right?
But you know what it feels like. At one point, I just decided to say, okay, it's time for you and I to have a talk. And that's where everything started changing. And that wasn't until even into my professional fighting career. I mean, I've had so many amazing things happen in my life that I almost did, or I came just short, or I could have done this. And when you trail it all back, it has everything to do with realistically me not giving myself the 100% effort. And I think where most people have that same thing is almost like we're afraid to succeed. We're afraid to give it our all, because then we were afraid of what would happen if it didn't work. So it's easier for us just to sit back and say, you know what, it didn't work for me. Yes. And nobody's going to fault me because it didn't work for me. But the person that will always fault you is yourself.
Always, right? So this is that's very interesting, mate. So you had that talk with yourself after you'd ended your pro career. So let's rewind to the start of that pro career, man, because we did, I think, like 4 or 5 fights together.
Yeah.
I think it got many, man, maybe 4. And that was a couple before the WEC. Then we went through to the WEC, which was, man, people don't even know what the fucking WEC is these days. And that was way better than the UFC back in the day. It was way more high skilled and technical, and all of these champions came over from the WEC. Even Donald Cerrone is fighting this weekend, which I'm going to get your opinion about later. So it was like, when you were going through those camps, when you were going through even the WEC, I mean, where was the fear coming up, man? Because was it stepping into the cage? Was it training? Was it transitioning the mindset from training to the day of the event? What was coming up, man?
You know, I think honestly, it just had to do with exactly the same problems that I had through my childhood. It's just that the feelings that I didn't think I was good enough, that I didn't think that I could beat these guys. I would look at the guys that were at the top of the division and I would think to myself, I would never be able to beat that guy. You know, instead of me giving myself a real chance and being like, I'm here, right, and I earned my spot in this position just like he did. I never had those building blocks. I never had the people around me that would actually build that confidence in me. I never had that self-talk inside my mind of that, yes, I can. And, you know, that's when we started working years ago. It was to trying to reprogram some of that bullshit that I had, because, I mean, all of us have those doubts. All of us have those fears. And unfortunately for me, I let all that stuff take advantage of the fact that I was having those feelings.
That makes sense, right?
It does now, you know, because I would go into these fights and I would train to win. I would give it. I mean, everybody knew me. I was a monster in the gym. And then as soon as I'd go against there and I'd stand in front of somebody that was probably one of the top 10 guys in the world, I would give him the credit of being a top 10 guy and not myself.
It's a shame, right? But there's no regrets because everything happens for the right reason.
Listen, I went through all those things, and for me, going through those allowed me to get to where I am right now. Yes. And allowed me to have my mindset. So people always ask me all the time, they say, you know, would you change anything? I said, I would change nothing. Nothing. Because if it wasn't for those moments, every single one of those heartbreaks, everything that's happened, I would not have the mindset that I have now. And I also wouldn't have the passion that I have now for giving that to other people.
And that's the point. And I love that. And that's your whole purpose in life right now, isn't it? I see you with like all over, you're with all these guys, training them so hard. You're in there every day, all day. You're at the fight. You've turned into like the Yoda. You know what I mean? But that's cool. But Yoda didn't become Yoda, right? Until he'd been through all of this shit. So
you have to.
And I don't think there's any mistakes. I don't think there's any accidents. And it makes you also look at the GSPs of the world. I mean, what goes through someone's head who can keep that level of world-class performance for all of those years, man? It blows my mind. You know, it blows my mind. Even like we'll get on to whatever people's thoughts are of Connor right now. It's like, you've got to give that guy so much respect. He doesn't need to do a goddamn thing, but he does.
Here's the thing. Once your mind locks into something, once you've tuned in, once you turn that dial, you can't turn it off. It's not like just because you've achieved something that now I can take a sit back. Like for me, even when I go on vacation, I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
Like I talked to my wife about it, she gets it now. Like I can't turn it off anymore. So I understand these guys like GSP and Connor, that it's not about just getting to the top and being there. It's not. People don't understand that.
No.
It's guys that have that obsessive mentality of continuing to be great.
Yes.
It doesn't matter about the accolade. It's about the process.
Right.
Like the result has no fucking relevance. I mean, yeah, of course they want to have their hand raised and they want to be on the top of the mountain. But as soon as they get to that mountaintop, it's like, where's the next fucking mountain?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're standing on top of the mountain and you realized it was just you anyway.
That's exactly it. Yep. 100%.
So what do you feel like the biggest fear is in people? And like you said before, is it just success? Is it, what makes, let's put it this way, because entrepreneurs and fighting, it's the same thing, you know, it's all our internal growth. And so with you, what is it you see in like these kids, I'll call them kids because we're old now, dude, that are coming up?
Here it is. I already have the answer.
Beautiful.
The fear that other people have is in not only letting themselves down, because that's only a part of it. It's letting their people around them down. Their influences of the people that they think that they need to uphold this image to. Those are the ones that they're afraid of failing towards. So it's easier for them not to even give themselves a full shot, because the other people that are saying, better luck next time, or whatever it is, they don't understand it. So it's easier for them to put things down. So they're afraid of letting those people down when they already putting it down themselves, because they don't get it. It's not their dreams. It's not their aspirations. They'll never be able to understand what it is they want. Of course, they can always say that they want the best for them, right? But that's what their understanding of what they know in association to their wants.
Exactly. It's so true, man. And no one knows. The old classic said, everyone wants to be a fighter, right? I don't think so.
You know, I think it goes back to early days, right? I think everybody does want to be a fighter, in the sense of the fact that they want to be Rocky. They want to be that guy that has a story that they came back. But you got to understand, that story is a guy that's been knocked down time and time again, right? So it's like we all want to have that without the downfall. There is no fighter story that didn't come from the bottom or came from the top and got dropped down and came back up. There is no story without that. So I think everybody wants to be a fighter at some point with the terminology, until it takes what it is to really be a fighter.
Right. And I love that. It's so true. And that's the same with life. It's the same with business, right? It's the same with, so it's like you start in the gym, man. How long you were in the gym for now?
So, man, we just concluded our 5th year at the academy.
Dude.
Yeah, 5th year. We've got We've got a stable of amateur and pro fighters. We've got just tons of guys that are for fitness enthusiasts, and it's great, man.
What's the name of your gym?
California Mixed Martial Arts. We have 2 locations now. We have one in our headquarters in Gardena. We have a smaller satellite location in Southgate, and it's just, man, it's great because our culture is really derived from this kind of progressive mindset.
And that's what I was about to come to, because you've created the gym now with, I feel like when we were back at you were training, and when I was around your world, it felt like you'd bring like really high level people in, like Dan Hardy and all of these cool people, right? And you'd all friends and training partners of yours. But it felt like you were near the top of the pile always, right? Which meant these brilliant people would come in, but it was like you were doing blue water on your own in the gym. You know, you were navigating the unknown by winning these belts, but there was no one around you like who were like 5 years ahead of you to show you, no, Chad, just maybe do this, come here, mate, look at this. It felt like you were navigating these waters on your own, you know? And that's what I saw from the outside anyway. And then you've learned so much. So it's like, how are you implementing like this growth mindset in your gym? How are you bringing that, your wisdom into the gym that you didn't get shown?
Man, 15 years of trial and error will do that for you. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know,
man.
when you came into the sport, like, you gotta remember when I started the sport, it was just getting going. Like, my weight class wasn't even a thing. Right. I was fighting in Tijuana, Mexico, because it was illegal in California. And then when it first came to California, you know, we started fighting on the first shows at the Santa Monica Civic Center, and then it started growing from there. And of course, there were guys that I was training around that were good friends of mine that I really looked up to. But as far as pathwise, man, we had to do it the hard way. It was like, go out there, fight, figure this stuff out. And it wasn't even about trying to make a career out of it. It was about going out and just fighting because we enjoyed it to some degree.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, being a terrified kid, I was still battling all my own insecurities then. So I'm literally fighting for next to no money as a terrified kid who has no idea why I'm even fucking doing this. And somehow I look back at it and it's been 15 years. So, you know, I think if I've been able to make anything out of this, I would really like to be able to just pass the knowledge, what I've learned over the years, to my guys so they don't make the same mistakes that I have. And now there's this huge opportunity for them to be able to kind of guide them from not making the same mistakes that we made when there was no pathway.
No pathway. How old were you when you first fought? What was your first?
Man, my first fight, I was 22 years old, and I'm going to be turning 38 this year.
Dude, I'm still older. You'll never be as old, mate. So don't worry. 38 is a good age. But think about that 22. Man, that was the wild, wild west.
Man, it was crazy. It was like, I remember there were the first big show that I signed with was Bodog Fight. You remember that?
I watched you. Mark and I watched Bodog. Yeah.
And that was one of the first big guys that started traveling people around, and that was really cool. You know, George Masvidal was part of Bodog. You know, so it's like, you know, between that and the WEC and the guys, I mean, it's been really cool to watch what everything's progressed to, and the guys that I've been around in these shows of what they've really turned into. It's just really amazing.
It is amazing, mate. It's now really a genuine career. You know, it wasn't before. You were all the crazy people who were just scrapping and forging the path. And, you know, here's $1,000. Yeah, well, I just nearly died in there. Yeah, well, that's okay.
$1,000, man. My first fight, I think I made $150 cash.
At least it was cash. I'm surprised they didn't give you a check and bounce it.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
Is that Bodog still going?
No, they shut down a while ago. I think they got in trouble for some tax stuff for international gambling.
That says so much about the fight, man. So much. That's wild, man. So you fight on Saturday, but fighting is in jiu-jitsu now, right?
Yeah. So now, I mean, over the years, my passion has really transitioned into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And this weekend I'll be doing a super fight at Fight to Win in Sacramento. And actually it's really cool because I was born and raised in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And my entire career is the first time that I've ever actually competed home. So I'll be flying out there in a couple days. And actually what's really cool is I'm supposed to be waiting on a message to come in this morning, but
okay.
I guess I'll tell you first.
Okay. Exclusive.
This is actually pretty crazy. Going with our mindset thing. I might actually have 2 jiu-jitsu fights this Saturday. They asked me if I would do a second match against the guy, and I just said, yeah, let's do it. You know, like, why not? Like you know, like one's not pressing enough. Let's just do 2.
Yeah,
and
why
so,
not, right? It's easy
so
enough.
while these guys, you know, they're not gonna have multiple matches. I'm gonna step up and do 2. So
you're gonna fight 2 killers on Saturday.
Yeah.
But it's okay, mate, because you're one of the killers.
Yeah, it is, and that's the thing I got to remember, you know, and that's where the mindset really does come in. That
Definitely.
Yeah, I am going against these guys, and you know they're top competitors. But here's the thing: one thing I've learned over the years is that I got to learn to give myself credit. And now that I've learned how to do that, these guys are standing across from me as well. And I think that now that I understand how that all works,
Mm-hmm.
they have to deal with me now, not me have to deal with them.
That's beautiful, mate. That's powerful. Because the truth is, what we got, if we looked at your resume, we've got 3 times IBJFF world champ, right? We got WEC, Bellator, we got combat jiu-jitsu world champ. I think we got a little credibility there, plus all the other like awards and belts and everything else you got. Guess what they're gonna look at?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. You know, they can step on there, and you know, I'm not one of those guys that says, "Oh, I'm a tough guy," and like this. But the reality is this: that they know that anybody that competes against me knows that they're in for a challenge, and for me, that's all I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I'm not a tough guy. I want to go out there and I want to compete against the best guys because I'm competing against myself, and that's why I really want to do these 2 challenges. Like if I do two matches in one night, this is for myself. This has nothing to do with them. They could be great competitors, and I want this challenge. I want to be able to say, hey, I did some shit I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? Like
right. Then you can look back on it, right? And that tick. That's beautiful, man. So routines, dude, because you gotta be like, being a pro fighter, and especially at your level, you gotta be so insanely disciplined. Like insanely disciplined to a level that people can't even comprehend, right? A friend of mine right now is Lou Giordano, who's working with John Jones, who fights in, he's weight cutting with John. And he's telling me some of the things with John. John's like he keeps himself in such a closed little bubble that's like lock and key that you can't get in. And that's how he keeps his discipline, his mindset, right? He doesn't let anything touch it. With you, like even now, you've got to be so disciplined with your training. You're running the gym and you're mentoring people. But how do you show people that discipline, and how do you maintain the level of athleticism that you have still, and that drive? How do you maintain it, man?
I think one of the things that I've learned over the years is that part of my obsessiveness with being into growth is that I've learned how to truly also be obsessive with my scheduling and time management. Okay. Is that, I mean, I am a mess. I have planners and schedules all over the place. I have whiteboards all over my room. I've got my athletes doing the same thing. I mean, I've got this is pretty much my religion, that I wake up, you know, I've got my monthly goals that I review that I always do at the beginning of the month. Awesome. And then I've got my weekly planner. My weekly planner becomes my daily agendas. And then my daily agendas become written out every single day when I wake up. Even though I already have it, I keep myself mindful of it. That's where my highlighters come in. I start checking these things off. And then I also prioritize. I prioritize what are the things that need to get done first. What are the things that I must do, and that's how I really keep myself on top of everything, because I don't believe anymore in allowing myself not to have things to do. Like if I have a gap in my day, I fill it. It's just that, okay, I've got a window here. That means I can work on these projects. If I have a window here, I'm gonna set up a podcast. If I have a window here, I'm gonna do as little. I'll listen to an audiobook.
Right.
Even when I'm in the car now, I stopped listening to music about 2 years ago. All I listen to is audiobooks and podcasts. That's it. I will only feed my mind with things that are gonna keep it weightlifting for the mind, for the brain,
and that's a solid tagline, man. I like that.
And it's just I don't want to put anything in my day, anything in my schedule, anything in my sights that's not helping me progress or the people around me. And I feel now that I'm at a stage where I have a duty to so many people that I need to be on top of it, and I have to lead by example.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Again, that goes back to your decision about stepping into who you are. You stepped into that dominance, that alpha, but not ego. You stepped into true heart connection, but it's then you stepped into being that leader and owning that and taking responsibility for that, man. And that's huge. That's huge. And so you've basically, your OCD-ness, you've mapped your month and everything out, and that has to get took off, and that's superb, man. So do you meditate?
I actually don't. I do my stretching and stuff, and actually it's a new thing. I stretch, but I really don't meditate. I used to meditate, and I have nothing against it. I think I'm at this very interesting stage now where I don't think I need it. Not that there's anything against it, but I think that I'm so focused that I'm just really into what I'm doing, and I can see the path. Like I can see things so far forward. Beautiful. That it's not that I know how to get there, but if I can see the goal of what I want, I've learned that I can start putting milestones in place, and I can start just building my way to those.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that, and that's the whole point anyway. And I think with you, the biggest thing is you're happy.
Oh man,
you see, like you seem so happy.
I am, because here's the thing. As soon as I truly realized who I was, man, the ego dropped off. It like I stopped feeling pressure. Of course there's life that comes at you every single angle. I mean, that's called life. You're always going to have the unexpected happen, and you're going to have to deal with it when it happens. But as soon as I truly accepted, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
Man, everything changed and life got good.
It's beautiful, mate. So if someone was listening to that and go, all right, Chad, yeah, we get it, mate. But how did you have that conversation? What pain had to happen for you to sit down in that moment and have that conversation and make that decision? What was the scenario?
I hear people talk about hitting rock bottom or whatever that means to that person, right? And for me, I'm not going to say I hit a rock bottom. I would say that I kept having upset after upset after upset. And I mean, I just got sick of it, man. And, I kept listening to speakers and podcasts, and these people that seemingly had just decided to make changes. And there was honestly just that one day where I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a try, and I'm going to stop bullshitting. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be all in, and I'm going to try it.
Okay.
And you know what? Now I'm sitting here still trying. It's tomorrow I'm still trying. And the next day I'm still trying, because I'll tell you this. It's the days that I'm not on it, and I'm not perfect. I'm not doing this stuff every day. I mean, I try to be, but there are the days that I'm unmotivated like anybody else. There's the days that I'm not feeling well. And it's those days I can feel the old me pulling me at the shirt, saying, hey, Chad, come back to me. It's comfortable. We spent so many years together. Let's hang out. And I can feel it, and it feels so comfortable. And I wanted to say, you know what? Yeah, let's hang out for a day. And then I say, nope, fuck, I gotta go. I can't do that. I know exactly where that goes. And then I got to get back on my shit. So that's the advice that I have, is that once you start going, you're always going to be pulled back. You're always going to be tempted by the old versions of you. Here's why. I realize that I've spent more time with that old version than I am the version now. And so by longevity of habit, that old habit still reigns seniority. So
Yes.
I'm constantly trying to build these new habits to overthrow that. And so I need to keep making things more powerful every day. And that's the advice that I give, is just know that it's always going to be a daily struggle, but it beats the way that it was before.
Hey, I love that, man. And it's so well said. And that's the way I teach it too. Maybe I dropped some hints maybe years ago when we were working together. Who the hell knows? But that's it. Old you, new you. This is a muscle. Everything that led us up to seeing the world as we are now is the highs and the lows. It's our beliefs about the future, ourselves, the past, our expectation, our values, and even how we talk to ourselves. The challenge is this old muscle, it's big, thick, and it's comfortable, and it's easy to pump, right? But that's like someone saying, it's like lifting weights on your left arm for 10 years. And someone's like, dude, what the f*** are you doing? Stop lifting weights on that arm. It's massive. It looks stupid. You've got a skinny right arm over here. And you start lifting it. Oh, it feels strong. Oh, this is hard over here. I'll just go back to this arm, right? It's as stupid as that, but it's as real as that. So your whole mission, and I love and I teach, is to pump this new world-class you all the time, right? And when you get triggered, guess what? Now that doesn't feel normal anymore. It feels strange to be in this old you.
Yeah.
So then we know what it feels like to be here. And then this version of you makes the right decisions, the better decisions, the beliefs. And I love it, man. So 5 years, Chad. Let's spin it out 5 years in the future, mate. What's the vision?
Well, for me, it's about making impact, and that's really what the vision is now, is that to impact as many people as I can get access to believing in themselves, to finding the champion within themselves, and realizing that there's a fight in every single one of us. And I want to be the one that hopefully has an impact if other people aren't able to reach to them.
It's badass, man. Is that what the podcast's about?
Yeah, so that's exactly what the podcast is about. It's about building a champion's mindset. And for me, it's really about unlocking what's already there.
Yeah.
And getting people to believe in themselves. A lot of the times I'll talk about my stories, or I'll bring on other people that talk about their stories, and to show that you're not alone with the way that you are thinking, and the doubts that you have, and the struggles that you've been through. And I understand that we all go through different struggles, but what unites us is that we're all fighting to progress. We're all fighting to move forward. And that's really where my concept is. We're all fighting for something. And whether you're a business person, a family person, whatever it is, you all have that opportunity to fight and become that fighter that we talked about earlier. It's just the context that you put it in.
It's awesome, man. That's powerful. It's powerful, man. And what's your podcast called?
The Savage Hour Podcast.
That's a good name, mate. It's a good name, dude. That's so cool. So let's talk about this weekend. One, you're fighting, which is awesome. Second, there's someone else fighting, and I want your opinions in this, because I'm going to put this out this week, dude. Let's fuck it,
all right? Cool.
Yeah, let's get it out this week. So predictions. We have Mr. Cowboy Donald, who I watched you fight, and then 2 fights later, I watched Donald fight way back in the day, WEC, man, which was really cool. So Donald how McGregor's become McGregor is unbelievable, but McGregor. So give your opinions on both of them, and then what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think both of them, obviously are phenomenal fighters, phenomenal athletes. I think that Conor is also coming into this with, he wants to prove that, he still is Majestic Mac. And he wants to make sure he keeps his reigning position. I think stylistically, it's a fight that's almost tailor-made for Conor. I think Donald has a lot more tools than Connor. I think Cerrone is he's a cowboy, like that's in every aspect of it. It's in his name. It's the way he fights. He goes out there, guns blazing, stands in the middle of the ring, and he wants to trade. But I think matchup wise for Connor, that's what Connor wants. He's a sharpshooter and he's got a lot of power. And I think that if Cowboy just mixed things up, I think if he actually went through and, his ground is phenomenal. People don't understand how good his ground really is. I think if he actually made this a ground fight, not that Connor hasn't improved, because I'm sure Connor's ground has actually probably gotten pretty good. But I still think that Cowboy has there's levels to the ground.
Yeah.
And I think he would be able to own him there. But I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to stand there. He's going to give everybody what he wants. And that's what Cowboy likes to do. He likes to put on that show. And I think that's also what's allowed him to almost not reach the top of the division. It's just that, he can beat any of those guys out there. But I think if he just adjusted the way he approached it and just went in with a little more, not stand and fight. Yeah, exactly. With a little more intelligence. Not that he's not an intelligent fighter. He's a phenomenal fighter. But I think that if he was able, like with Cowboy, I would jump guard on Connor. Like I would go in there and actually jump guard on him and make him play that game.
Right.
Just to switch things up. Because you want to, like in a fight like this, you want to get inside the other person's head. You want to make them just get off just a little bit from where they think the fight's going to be. And then all of a sudden they're thinking differently. The psychology of the fight's changed. Where Connor does that phenomenal with everybody. He gets them following the psychology of what he wants in every single fight.
Master.
And now he knows, Cowboy is going to stand in the center. He knows Connor wants him to stand in the center, so that's what they're going to do. And statistically speaking, Cowboy's a slow starter.
Yeah.
And Connor is probably one of the fastest starters in the sport.
Yeah.
So you put those two together, it leans one direction. But I think that if it does play out where there's a little more distance between the two, I think Cowboy's got a real shot. But I do think it's tailor-made for Connor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And did you hear what he? I think you're on the dot, mate. And I think you putting a bet on.
No, I'm not going to put any bets on this one.
Sometimes I'm not allowed to bet, mate. I got an addictive personality too. So my girl's like, you're not allowed to bet on anything. So that's huge, mate. Did you see what Connor earns in the Khabib fight?
Something that was like 60 million.
50 million. He thinks he's going to earn 80 million from this fight. The discrepancy between every other fighter in the world is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about that. 80 million. And Cowboy's probably going to get what? $500,000 or something?
Yeah, right? It's crazy, but Connor's doing what he's supposed to do. He's making the money while he can, because if he loses this fight, those big paydays are done.
Yeah. So look, he's got his whiskey line, right? And his clothes and everything else he's got, man. Chad, I'm going to let you go in a second, bud. I know you're a busy man, and I really appreciate this, mate. I really do. It means a lot to me. I've known you for a long time, bud, and it's like I remember standing cage side screaming and shouting with everyone else, watching you do your thing, mate. And it's like, and I know that's what you feel like watching all of your guys in the gym now. It's like, it's different being in there, and it's probably more emotional being outside watching someone you care about than being inside doing the damn job, right?
Yeah, man. It's it's amazing to watch the guys grow. We've got some incredibly young, talented junior athletes right now. I've got some 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, and even some of the more mature fighters that are getting in there for their first, second fights. And man, just watching them go in there with a confidence that I never had at that early stage is just incredible, and it makes the journey absolutely worth it. I've got a kid who signed up in my gym at 16 years old, told me he wanted to be a fighter, and I told him, I said, You know, if you just put your nose down, keep training, when you turn 18, we'll let you fight. And he's 18 now, and now he's 2-0 as an amateur.
Dude.
You know, so like things like that, like that's what's exciting to me. Like I'm watching these kids develop into something that they're truly pushing towards dreams they want, and we're molding them at a very early age. And I think it's incredible to be able to have an outlet, not only for myself, because I'd be lying if I didn't say that it was helping me grow, watching them grow.
Of course, in every way, man, in every way. It's beautiful, mate. Is there any words of wisdom you want to leave the Mindset by Design crew with?
The only thing I can say is that life's always going to throw things at you. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's what makes a champion. It's not running from the obstacles. It's literally standing right in front of it and saying, okay, I'm afraid. Yes, I accept that, but I'm not running away this time.
It's huge, man. It's huge. And that's right through every area of your life, every single area, right? It's awesome, mate.
It's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to run away.
Exactly. Fuck else, you're gonna just live a life of regrets, right? Life's too short, man. It goes so fast.
Man, that's I'll kind of leave it on that, is that, you know, we never know when it's our time. We never know when our clock runs up, and the only thing we can do is know that we're here right now, and we can make the best of this moment. And that's what it is. Life is about moments. Yeah. And if we can keep stacking those moments, then no matter when that time ends, we've lived a good life.
Beautiful, man. We're writing our own book, right?
That's it. You know, everything we go through is just another chapter.
It's awesome. You got to write your own book, mate.
I'm working on it right. I'm working on it right now.
That'll be a good book, mate. That'll be a good book. Yeah, it's cool. It's got to be called Savage something, right?
Well, right now, I've got a couple different titles that I'm working on for it, but man, it's pretty challenging writing a book. So what I'm just basically doing is I'm writing all my stories and all my my things that I've been through and how I've overcome them. And, you know, I'm hoping this year is the year that I finish it and maybe get that out there.
Jealous, mate. I want one. I want to read your book and I want to write one too, but we'll get there. But right, sir. Thank you so much, Shad. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll put links everywhere, mate. Put links
awesome.
everywhere. I'm going to get this out. It's Tuesday, the 14th today. I'm going to get it out tomorrow, mate. I've got a back catalog, but let's get it out this week.
Awesome.
Beautiful, mate.
Perfect. All right, brother.